Welcome to today's intention. Today we're going to talk about the game of fear. And you will tell me what is that? What is the game of the fear? The game of the fear is the game of the control. So every training in every academy, every federation, they teach you how to control and they don't teach you how to play. That is different. One thing is finding the security because you want a result. That's only you want. And another thing is to play. To play is an experience. And the experience cannot accept control. So in every drill, every exercise that you make in a core, normally is based on the control, based on the security, based on the result. It means that you just make an action because you want the result. So if you don't have the result, you don't make an action, just like this. And what happened? That when you play by control, you play by fear. And when you arrive to the tournament, you play with fear. Why? Because that's what you train. You train by the fear, by the control. You don't know how to play tennis. And every time that you are take more lessons and improve and get more information, those information was based not in the game, not to make the game, is to make security and control. So the game that you know now, today, is the game of the fear. So how can I live this model of being fear? Simple. Leave the control. Leave the security. Because when you leave the control and the security, then you can start playing. Because playing is an experience. And the experience is also only possible when you leave everything. When you let it go completely in the action. Actually, your mistake become by your control. So when you try to control, then you make mistake. And you say, why? Because when you try to control the action, you make mistake because your action was not fully action. Just was part in an action. Not completely. And that's why you make mistake. Today I was doing a lesson with a lady that she is like a little, not beginner, but almost beginner. And we did our exercise with a target, this target that we put in the net, with a hole. And she told me, I can do that. I can pass the ball with the forehand, I can do it. But with the backhand, I can go inside the hole. Let's say, okay. And I say to her, do you see the target? Look. And I say, yes, I had it. And then I give you the ball, and then she stopped the ball, and then the ball goes away, far away from the target. And I say, no. Look the target and release completely the action. And then the next ball that I give it to her, then the ball passed into the hole. How come? Because we have the ability to play by not making control. When you have a focus, because, when you play, if you have a really spot inside of the court, because that you want, right? If you know that, and then you do the completely action, that's going to happen. The problem is that first, you don't have exactly point in the court. You have they just say cross or straight, but which is the point, you don't know. And second, you want to achieve this direction by controlling your hand. So, twice mistake. And that's why the ball goes out. But if you are clear about your target and you don't control, and then you just get the experience to play, this ball is going to be inside, always. So the control is the way that you make mistake. The mistake become from the control. And you train every day control. So you train every day the mistake. Simple. What your coach said, every exercise that you do today and tomorrow and the next week is going to be like this. Okay, let's do this exercise. And what's the main goal? Well, control, get the control. Everything is basing on the control. Look your training today and see what is the goal for every exercise. And you will see that is for the control or the security. That's it. And this is your training doesn't know that he's teaching now the game of the fear. That's why you have fear in the match, because you train the fear in the practice. You don't know how to play, because to play is to get experience without nothing, any expectation, just leave the action, and then you make the game. And then you get matches. But you don't know how to play. You don't know what is the experience. Have you ever hear about exercise that your coach says like, okay, let's experience the game? What? Doesn't exist, because they want to control. They want the fear. They push you to make mistakes. How about that? So your coach is the worst person for you. How about that? He has a good intention. That is good, because the intention is important. But the main thing is that he's not helping you, or she is not helping you. Every day that you go to a training, you go far away from the game. One step back. You have more information, yes, but let's play. Because everything is going to be more control, more security. Why? Because they think that with the control and with the security, they're going to find a result. It is not. With the control and the security, you leave the result. You're never gonna get the result. The result is just possible when you get the experience completely of the shot, making fully shot. Because when you get the experience to play, the shot is always going to be fully. Not middle terms. That's what you are. That's what you play. So we have two choices. Or play, or we have fear. We cannot playing with fear. It's the opposite. And I say, oh, but I have to, but normally in the match it's good that I have fear. Fear of what? Fear of passing a ball over one net? This is your fear? Really? You are going to die now, today? You have fear to pass a ball over one net. How about that? Think about it. So it means that when you are playing, you don't have fear. And if you have fear, it's simple. You're not playing. So to play, we need to do full actions. And this full action is just possible by get the experience to play without the control, without the security. So leave completely the game of the fear and find and stay and live the experience of playing that is the experience. This way, you are going to find your result. Not with control, not with security. I hope you like this video, and we'll see you soon.